in Detroit. Bottom half inning number 2. Eugenio Suarez up now for the Trigers.
Well, this is giving Danny Cool a lot of time to get hot and cold.
Takes it himself. One pitch and a foul.
Anything put it on the play ball, and he's going to be in for Ben Wright. Hey. Ball. Single-handedly responsible for an pitch count. He's had 4 plate appearances now and has seen 8 or more pitches.
Here's Brandon Newman. He's a guy who does it all.
Ball. Here is the 10th pitch of the at-bat on his way.
In the air, left center. And that ends the inning.
That's Jazz running the throw down to 50 pages.
It's 1-0.
We did not get a demonstrative call from Todd Fisher there.
Let's look at how the series has played out.
Big challenge. Yeah, that ball's off the plate. It's ball 4.
Chris, he's been one of the most powerful hitters in baseball this year.
Big part is ball 3 goes mid, top 5 in the league, counted 3-2. And Chisholm's credited for his 24th bag of the year. Wells did not follow him as the trail runner.
Fastballs up in zone, kind of challenging him to catch up. Strikes zone as a hitter. You're still thinking he might climb right out of here. Pretty much stand a chance on that good changeup.
That's a base hit. So they get a man aboard for a 1-out single.
11 pitches, 7 foul balls.
Back to the top of the Milwaukee order. This is Bryce Terrain. He's over.
Wells and Chisholm the tying run. Grounded weakly to third, with only 1 play for Durbin. And that's to first base. Jazz scores in the third. And it's a 1-run game.
First one.
That's a well-earned RBI.
Takes off.
Introducing Gatorade Lower Sugar.
Back in America. Sets at the bottom of the third. Marcelo Zuna up now for the Trigers. Out towards right center field. So moving on to this one. 1 up, 1 down.
This tournament might be fun, but this
Nice job just presenting it. Better than it actually was.
Talk about curate classes for fun. Satisfied evidence.
And the time was on base.
Well, a swing like that can't help you get out of this trouble. We saw the numbers going into the ball game. He's trying to get his points, help his team win.
Stands here now and pitches strike 1. Ground on the right side, but that one's foul. Swing and struck him out. 2 down.
It can be so tough as a hitter to pull yourself out of an extended storm, one that lasts for several days, even a week or more. No, right now, he's really in the end zone. I'm sure his mind is all over the place.
That is the inning. 1 left. Back here in Detroit as we go to the top of the 4th. Bobby Witt Jr. up now for the Brewers.
Ball 1.
Rips one to left, that's a base hit. So a man on base to start the inning. So Siggy, let's dive into the numbers courtesy of the StatCast. Do you even feel contact being made when you hit that hard?
No, I don't think so. That's the best thing to do.
And it is
They're on the board, making a 1-run lead. Scheduled batter. spot for the 25th.
His first homer of the year, and they add to the lead. It's 3-0.
Wasted no time in that at bat. Swinging the first pitch, and he punished it. The guy played with a high fastball. Look how his bat stays in the zone for a long time. Absolutely crushed that pitch.
Now it's Christian Yelich. 0-1 so far.
Face two batters, and it's turned with a close stage.
Swing and a ground ball. Gets to first. That ground ball may have him back on track after the home run.
It's a good recovery, though, after giving up the home run. Not allowing it to stay in the head, but going to work at the next half inning to find back.
Up the middle, Baez.
And Rice
To first. There. Two more bases in. Now here is Aaron Judge. Taking left his first time. Now fouled off. Judge, a former Rookie of the Year, a member of the 1,000 hit club. Let's remember a major part of his resume are those 3 MVP awards.
Really close pitch down around the knees there. You can see him asking where it missed. That wasn't agreed, but it appears he's ready to move on to the next pitch.
Over first, Judge out of the play. Ready to go. Stepping in, the local threat, Nick Kurtz. Ball. And that's fouled off.
Well, these Tigers just haven't produced as many competitive bats as I'd like to see in this one. I think things are happening a little quicker than this offense would like, and we see it in the numbers. They're getting into a lot of holes early in the at-bat.
Right through there. Lead off hitter retired. And first offering is fouled off.
That's a really good take right there. Slider down in air, difficult to get on the same plane and do it.
Up the middle, Terrain. Hayes throws the first. Already 2 gone here in the 4th. Daniel Suarez up to the plate now.
Ball inside.
2 down, nobody out. We're here in the bottom of the 4th.
Easy pitch right there. Started on the edge of the plate with the spin. You know it's going to finish well off the plate.
And he misses. And now 3-0. And a 4-pitch.
Maybe they lost some focus of the mound right there. Pretty much gifted at first base with a quick free pass.
And a foul ball.
It's no time for better.
0-1 now. And a swing and a miss. There's that slider.
Well, you got the hitter already chasing that nasty slider. On the mound, usually expand the zone, get a swing and miss, and get to base it back.
Zips it across.
That showcase been a fun game so far.
We go to the top of the fifth. Here's one so with an aggressive lead, top 5 in the league is Lynn Chansey.
He's got that. Don't make a mistake, Brian. Every time he steps in.
And first offering is fouled off. You can almost hear the crowd hold its breath when he swings.
Yeah, most of the time it's for good reason. He's a human highlight.
Lifted into the right center field. Carpenter settles underneath it. Then there's one out.
That's a really nice play ranging back into the outfield for that catch. We know those can be a little tricky, especially if the wind's swirling around out there.
Baseball.
Tap foul on play.
Close to it. Plenty of time to be just. Give him a lot of credit for taking
And now the ball is lifted in the air.
Shortstop. But there have been a couple of balls tonight. Fly ball out there and scored a run.
Here's Gary Sanchez now. 1 for 1. He singled to left his first time through. It's the Brewers 3 and the Tigers nothing.
Two gone now for Jared Duran.
Back at Comerica Park, we head to the bottom of the fifth. Brandon Nimmo up now for the Tigers.
Talk about how tough
Well, these Tigers, just lacking discipline in the late this ball. They've been chasing pitches outside the zone all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've been fooled quite a bit today.
Fights it off, he'll see another.
It's okay to the Yankees if they wait for play. And it's since been pretty good for them.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
Well, they really filled up the strike zone in that at-bat until that final pitch. And as a hitter, you sense that they're coming after you. You're not dancing around the strike zone. You want to attack it, so you kind of get in the swing mode. You have to protect the plate. That's when you become really susceptible to something that makes you chase. And that's exactly what happened right there.
On the ground, and that's a fair ball. He's in at second with a one-out double.
He needed out. It's been a tough stretch to the plate lately. He was definitely late on that pitch, but he didn't get beat. Got the bat on the plane and just kept his hands tight to shoot it down the first base line for the mound.
Haas swings through it for strike one. One out, runner at second. Last half of the inning. In here to left center. And there's two away. That finds the zone. Strike one. Swing and a miss and a slider. Runner at second, two down.
Really good take, especially with two strikes.
Fouled off. And they'll do it again. Stays alive. 1-2. Puts it in the air out towards left center. Judge has a beat on it. And that is that.
America.
Welcome back as we look at the highlights from today's game so far. Back to the top of the order. Bryce Torrey digs it down.
Went down looking on 3 pitches last time. Let's see if he can
Start the inning.
Pass to Kurt Graves to the Warren Boyd, who's over the uniform, which was brought to the back to the one-run game in Boston.
That one fouled
Here,
off.
a good luck with count upon some of the forward game. Robert, he's going to pitch the 8th inning for Boston in a one-run game.
Swing and a miss. Meanwhile, activity in the bullpen. Tyler Holt, the left-handed reliever, appears to be getting loose. Hannafy, the right-hander, also getting loose.
Lynch, watch it for my leagues. Pitcher back now.
Fouls it back with 2 strikes. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. Terrain gets his lead at first, nobody out.
What's happening at home?
And that one almost got him.
This guy's a fun guy to watch taking it bat. He just battles up there. He doesn't take a pitch off at all. Makes it so difficult on the pitchers out there. You can tell they get frustrated with how long it takes to
All the
play.
people there. Walter Cabrera, another Major League player from Venezuela, 5 on the Red Sox roster. Thoughts they must have the loved ones down which back home.
And a swing and a miss. Down on strikes. And one out. And Chris, that's a way to neutralize his speed.
Alexa, what's going on over in Venezuela?
Everyone, if you get the ball in play.
Alexa, what's going on in Venezuela?
Getting out of there and dealing
Here's
with
the
the next
news.
guy.
Playing ABC News. You can set a preferred news provider and settings on your Alexa.
Line fly ball right field.
A young woman named Angie Dodds is found brutally murdered in Idaho Falls. Police put a man behind bars. But as the years pass, doubts emerge about whether the real killer was ever caught. These are Angie's murder marks made to give Larry a show. One Coventry's. Listen to the thing. New series from ABC Audio.
Hard hit left side.
Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app, and ad-free on Amazon Music.
Back to the top of the Detroit order. Here comes Glaber Torres.
And David Andrew. Despite a strike on a vessel at the Strait of Hormuz today, President Trump is continuing to insist that the critical waterway is open. ABC's Jonathan Carl.
Less than 24 hours after President Trump declared that the deal with Iran was going well, Iran has been very nice. They're doing everything that I want. U.S. officials told ABC News Iran attacked a cargo ship attempting to cross the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has imposed new conditions forbidding ships from traveling outside of its approved shipping lanes.
ABC News contributor and expert on Middle East policy, Javad Ali, says that Iran is pushing the boundaries.
It is clear that Iran is trying to push for the conditions of this agreement. How much room they have to keep negotiating with one of these critical aspects, which is using the Turkish straits and what the change of the system in place, using the general needs and
This report delivered victories to the Trump administration today.
in two separate immigration cases, the court split 6-2 along ideological lines, with a conservative majority rejecting the arguments of immigrant rights groups. Both opinions were written by Justice Samuel Alito, who said that would-be asylum seekers in Mexico aren't entitled to make their claims unless they actually reach the U.S. side of the border. Alito also wrote that the government can stretch the temporary protected status granted to Haitians and Syrians that has allowed them to stay in the U.S.
ABC Stephen Fordor. Tens of thousands are considered missing in Venezuela following the twin earthquakes that reduced home buildings to rubble. The death toll went to the 8 bucks, says Senior Vice President of the International Programs for the International Rescue Committee, Kieran Donald.
Change something has been seen as and everyone seen as change. And then going up as bodies are recovered from the wreckage.
You're listening to ABC News. Google and the TSA are teaming up to allow passengers to get screened for their flights without having to carry a physical ID. It's called Touchless ID. It's already offered via TSA PreCheck on certain airlines. Local ABC Sam Sweetie.
Now with this partnership between TSA and Google, if you have a Google wallet on your Android phone, you can load your passport into it and then connect it to your airline account. And when you show up to the airport, all you have to do is walk up to the camera, have your picture taken, and you'll be cleared to get on your flight.
In another decision handed down today, the Supreme Court handed a victory to the makers of the weed killer Roundup.
The case involved a man who won a $1 million lawsuit in the state court, alleging that Monsanto violated Missouri law by failing to warn on the label that the weed killer Roundup might cause cancer. Monsanto denies that its product is dangerous and points to the EPA's approval of its label. The High Court ruled 7-2 in favor of the company, finding that federal law governs the labeling and preempts the state court claim. The ruling did not fall along its traditional ideological lines, with Liberal Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson being joined in her dissent by conservative Neil Gorsuch. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Jaguar Land Rovers are calling more than 250,000 SUVs over an airbag defect. According to the car maker, the airbag might not perform as intended and increases the risk of an injury during a crash. The automaker is not aware of any accidents or injuries due to the defect. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Your summer runs, you've got a boost of energy in Lululemon's Shake It Out shorts. Made of ultra breezy, lightweight Swift fabric, the Shake It Out shorts have a flowy, layered hem and a comfy built-in liner. These shorts keep you locked in for miles with distraction-free storage and a waistband that doesn't budge. They might just be the shortcut to your summer goals. Shop the Shake It Out shorts now at Lululemon.com.
It's Thursday, June 25th. As long as you live in this house, you live by these rules. Stop being
right there. Detroit adds
President Trump threatens to torpedo a landmark housing bill if Congress doesn't pass this legislation first.
It basically devolved into a shouting match between President Trump and one Republican senator.
Daring Republicans to stare him down, one of them did. New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani took a big swing and connected. People following the King of New York, he certainly is a king who makes amplifying a much bigger conversation in the Democratic Party. Most Americans don't know anything about this land deal involving the president's family. But it's caused a foreign country to erupt in protests. From ABC News, this is Stark Field. I'm Brian Kimball. Yesterday, the House passed this landmark bill to address the housing affordability crisis. This bill was supposed to increase the housing supply by speeding up construction and cracking down on large finance firms from buying tranches of homes. We also told you this was one of the few bills out there during the Trump era with broad bipartisan support. The Senate had already signed off on this. President Trump himself had signaled he would sign it. But yesterday, all of a sudden, Trump changed his mind.
The
housing bill. The housing, I made millions of dollars in housing. I wasn't better than anybody. So much that he was suddenly against this bill. Rather, he said he was refusing to sign it because he wanted lawmakers to include another provision, a different one. His controversial election proposal that has already failed in Congress multiple times. By the end of the day, Trump was on the Hill himself, loudly arguing with fellow Republicans. Let's take a look at it right now. ABCC political profile, Rachel Scott is with us. Rachel, I'm so confused because this seemed like a done deal. Almost everyone was on board. What happened?
Yeah, but I mean, talk about something that both Democrats or Republicans and the White House agree on, and that was this landmark legislation. It was being viewed as one of the most transformative pieces of housing legislation in decades. The Trump administration was touting this bill. They were all excited for the president to sign it. So right here, we're in the Capitol, fully anticipating this ceremony. I mean, the stage was quite literally set. There was a podium in place, there were dozens of chairs, even desks ready for the president to sign this bill into law. And then suddenly, the president fires off a social media post saying he's not going to be signing this bipartisan legislation that his own administration has been praising for days.
We have to vote ID. We don't put voter ID and proof of citizenship. But basically, it's because the same American attitude.
And the reason why, Brad, well, the president says he wants Congress to first pass his own top priority, and that's the Save America Act.
Wait, Rachel, what does the Save America Act have to do with anything? It's like you said, this housing bill, there's going to be a bipartisan win. You think if there were voters out there thinking, man, Republicans promised they would improve my finances, hasn't happened yet. This is a chance to do it, slam dunk. The Save America Act is like the opposite of bipartisan. It's extremely controversial, right?
Yeah, and not to mention that affordability is top of mind for Republicans and Democrats in the midterm election year. The Save America Act, and this is deeply divisive here on Capitol Hill, and Republicans have tried to get this through before. This is a bill that requires voter ID, tougher voting restrictions. It's the cornerstone of part of the president's agenda. He wants this to get passed.
Trump has expressed his priority and preference in the Save America Act. We share that. We passed it 3 times in the House.
And Republicans have kind of thrown up their hands here, saying we keep trying, and it's not going anywhere right now. So they're trying to move on to other legislation, but the president is using it as leverage again and again and demanding that Republicans get us across the finish line.
Well, stop trying to make fetch happen, Mr. President. It sounds like that's what I'm saying. So President Trump, what was weird about the scheduling here was he was also already scheduled to meet with congressional Republicans, like a sort of a while behind closed doors. That still happened, and yet we heard it got heated, and it wasn't just because of that bill, right? So what was it?
Yeah, Brad, I was getting texts from sources inside of the room that in real time were describing this as very intense. One source told me that it basically evolved into a shouting match between President Trump and one Republican senator. And there was a little build-up ahead of this meeting, right? So not only did you have that housing bill, but also just one day earlier, 4 Republican senators broke ranks, they voted with Democrats to limit the president's war powers.
Alexa, turn off.
Well, these Brewers really vaccinated their bats in this one. It's been fun getting a chance to see the numbers help tell the story. They've been
Here's 0-2. Swings and misses. Struck him out.
Well, instead of down and away, it's just kind of a slow death. With 2 strikes, you're looking to protect, and halfway to the plate, you know you've committed, and you know you're going to have no chance of touching it. I'll tell you what, sometimes you just have to take the count.
Next to hit, Bryce Terang. Swing and pop off the foul grip. Reaches over the wall, and he's got it. From behind the right, kind of to the wall. Back here in Detroit, digging in, Nick Kurtz.
A lot of times you're looking for a guy to get that type of run on base, but because of the power, you want to tie the game with one swing here.
Just missed. That's in there. And the count even 1-1. And here comes the Brewers manager. John Gray gets handed the rock out of the pen.
This guy's a strike thrower. He's done an excellent job of avoiding walks so far this season.
Here's 1-2. Swings and misses. Struck him out. Couldn't catch up to the heat. There's a strike. The Brewers holding on to a 1-run lead here at the bottom half of the 8th inning. This one drilled deep, way back there, and it's gone. The lead hard drive.
This one feels far from over. This game's going to fall out.
Emilio Suarez updating that. Leiter caught in second.
Well, baseball can be cruel, can't it? I mean, sometimes it gives, and sometimes it takes away. He did everything right on that swing. He's got no shot.
That one missed. Late swing foul off. That one found hard the other way. 2 down, nobody on. Goes down looking. But this clutch home run gets us even again. We're tied now at 3 apiece. We're back. It's the top of the 9th, and there's a new pitcher on the mound. Tyler Holt. Swing and line drive. That's a base hit into center field. And the go-ahead run is on base. We'll see. He is locked in there.
Well, he's really slowed the game down, and it's like he's moving at full speed, and everybody is a step or 2 behind. The way that he squared up that baseball tells me that he is seeing it like a beach ball.
In the air, left field. On grid. And there's one down. Go ahead, run on base. Here comes Christian Yelich. 3 groundouts already. He's over 3.
Red Sox would love to add on here with big chance.
That's off the inside corner. It is 1-4. Action in the pen down there. Red Kurtz enters for A.J. Hinch. That's a bullet, but it goes foul. And that was caught and missed. And out 1-2. Runner on the go. To the right side, Kurtz takes it to the back. No chance of the double play with the runner in motion.
Goes out by a single on the pitch right there. Got his eye on it, got him bounced into that out.
Swing and a pop-up. Kurtz gets under it. And that's the 3rd out.
And you got Tommy Kahnle in a run.
Back in Comerica Park. Bottom 9, and they've got a chance at a walk-off in this game. Brandon Newman up now for the Tigers. This guy's got good power with one swing. He can win it for him.
Rafael Devers.
Right side, hard hit. Murakami takes it himself, and the leadoff man retired here tonight. He's on the verge of a milestone. His next home run will be the 300th of his career.
300 homers would be an amazing achievement. If you were the 200 players who ever done it, hit 300, you tied Chuck Knight. Hit 301, you tied Rogers Crosby. I can't wait to see if he pulls it off.
And the one. There's a strike 95 of that one. All tied up here in the last half of inning number 9.
He's checked that signal. I don't know.
Fights that one away, still 1-2. That's foul off to the right side, keeps the AB going.
5-4 times, so I can actually look at it.
Good looking, that's a strikeout.
Well, that's not the best two-strike fastball I've seen, but it certainly got away with the location there. You know, sometimes as a hitter, when you're down in the count, you're so focused on a pitcher painting the black, and you just get a little bit locked up on something down the heart of the plate, not expecting it, and it just kind of freezes you.
Yep. His on-base percentage score.
Potts tries in the 6th inning.
Oh, this guy's so comfortable hitting the 2 strikes. Even a good pitch early in the at-bat, he's not ready.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. That's the 3rd out, and we'll play extra innings in this one. Tigers still making a noise, scoring. New pitcher for the Tigers, Grant Carter.
And as relievers go, he's not a big struggle.
It's Aaron Judge now, 1 for 3 in this one. Siggy, he's got a history of coming through into big spots. I like to talk about, I'm not sure whether clutch actually exists, but you look at the numbers, this guy always seems to deliver in those spots. Man at second.
Well, I think it's the ability to assess the situation, understanding what the pitcher has and what he's trying to get people out on, and then being able to use the entire field.
Swung on Belton. That one carrying. Brings it back on a leaping catch. Wow. And is in safely at 3rd with 1 out.
Probably just took away from one of the best in the league. It's not going to happen very often. You're going to get the opportunity. Better make the play, and he did right there.
So Raphael reaches the field with choice. And it's a 3-run game now for William McWilliams.
Line drive to short and gone.
That takes away the opportunity to score a runner from third with a sac fly. We're talking about a different story if that line drive hits the ground. But he made a good play, and they can get out of this thing with 1 more out.
On the ground to first, and that's a fair ball. And to score from 3rd, and they've got the lead in extra innings.
Well, there you go. The RB. Machine, another clutch run scoring at bat.
Yeah, he's been so good in these situations. Call it clutch if you want, but his resume speaks for itself. Sanchez, the next to hit, takes outside.
By the way, the
27 years old, and he was drafted in the 7th round in 2021. So the call to stand. No challenges left for them now. Murakami, the runner at first with 2 gone. On the ground to 3rd, Suarez. Tosses to first, and that's the 3rd out. Back here in Detroit, on to the... They hand the ball over to a new arm, Abner Uribe.
I can't imagine any save is an easy. You're holding a small lead on the scoreboard, and you know those hitters are going to give you the best at-bats they can. So it's always high stress. Let's see what he's got here to try and close it out.
1 away. Almost got him there. And a strike to Glaber. Gets him to chase after that one. The Brewers trying to close out a one-run lead. The home team trying to pull it out. Torres wants another look at the cold strike. It's a challenge, and it's going to stay a strike. Still one challenge left for them. So it's their last chance in this one. Now at the plate, Nick Kurtz. Pitches in there. Strike one. There's the final strike.
And a bat like this is almost over as it begins in this situation.
Tapped out in front of the plate. And that one handled. Throw to first. Ball game. And the Brewers come in here and finish off a 3-game sweep.
This team just keeps rolling. This winning streak is out of control. I can't believe that they've been able to reel off this many wins in a row. You're playing big league players on the other side of the diamond, and they're just getting it done day in, day out, night in, night out.
4-3 our final score, and the road team picks up the win and picks up a sweep. For Chris Singleton and our